Good day, sir. I am Gerald Jancy Velasco from Bikaid 2B, and here is my case study about Sandra Jane Gaguacinto, petitioner, versus Maria Eloisa Sarmiento, FOTS respondent. So their case is connected to RA 9262, an act defining violence against women and their children. So, ayan po. So, the Republic Act 9262 enacted in 2004 is a Philippine law designed to protect women and their children from various forms of abuse, including physical abuse, sexual abuse, psychological abuse, and economic abuse. So this law recognizes that violence can occur in intimate relationships and offers remedies available to victims, including criminal remedies and civil remedies such as protection order. So the case of GR number 250627, which was decided on December 7, 2022, entitled Sandra Jane Gaguacinto versus Maria Eloisa Sarmiento FOTS, dealt with legal issues relating to this law. So this case arose from a very personal and emotional issue that involved two women. Jacinto was the petitioner and FOTS as the respondent. So who were once in a very personal relationship as friends. So the interpretation and application of RA 9262 were at the heart of the case. That is, whether the protection afforded by the law would extend the same-sex relationship, and further, whether the petitioner's claim of abuses fell under the definition of violence under the Act. So the case further delved into the complexities of gender, intimate partner violence, and the emerging legal recognition of different relationship dynamic in the Philippines. So, for the case overview about Jacinto versus FOTS, GR number 250627. So, in this case, decided on December 7, as I said, 2022, Sandra Jane Gaguacinto, she filed a petition po against Maria Eloisa Sarmiento FOTS, alleging psychological and economical abuse during their same-sex intimate relationship. So Jacinto sought protection under RA 9262. So however, but the regional trial court in the Court of Appeals dismissed her petition. Why? Reasoning that RA 9262 po was extended to apply to violence committed by a man against a woman with whom he has or had a sexual or dating relationship or share a child. So this interpretation excluded same-sex relationship from the law coverage. And for the legal issue po, so the central legal question was whether RA 9262 applied to same-sex relationship specifically. Does the law's protection and extend to women abused by female partner in an intimate relationship? So, Supreme Court ruling. So, the Supreme Court addressed this issue in its decision. While the court denied Jacinto's petition on procedural grounds, it clarified that RA 9262's protections are not limited to heterosexual relationship. So, the court po emphasized that the law applies to any person who commits act of violence against a woman with whom they have they have or had a sexual or dating relationship, regardless po of the perpetrator's gender. So this interpretation aligns with the court's earlier decision in Garcia v. Drelon, so where it held that RA 9262 po applies to lesbians relationships. The court reiterated that the law's application is determined by the nature of relationship and act committed not by the same sex or gender of the abuser. So now we're going to talk about the implications po. The Supreme Court has significant implications. So first is the legal protection. So women po in the same-sex relationship are entitled to the same legal protections under the RA 9262 as those in heterosexual relationship. And next, the judicial interpretation. So the decision underscores the importance of interpreting laws in a manner that upholds the right of all individuals regardless po sa kanilang sexual orientation. And for the last, the advocacy and awareness. Um, so the case po, sa kanila pong case, tiga-highlight dito yung needs for continued advocacy and education to ensure that the victims of abuse in all types of relationship are aware of their rights and the legal remedies available to them. So, yung pong case ni Jacinto vs. Post, nagsuserve siya as a pivotal moment in Philippines jurisprudence, affirming that RA 9262's protections against violence are inclusive of same-sex relationship. So this interpretation ensures that all women, regardless of the gender of their partner, have access to legal remedies and protection from abuse. So, the case of Sandra Jane Gago-Jacinto versus Maria Eloisa Sarmiento Fox brings to light the fact that under the Republic Act No. 9262, the Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children Act of 2004, significant gaps exist in the protection of individuals involved in same-sex relationship, so that laws protects a woman from violence in heterosexual relationship with no provisions concerning someone like Jacinto. So for example, who is a victim in a same-sex relationship? The lower courts therefore seems to exhibit a retrograde understanding of domestic violence primarily as male-to-female violence in heterosexual context, as they deny Jacinto's petition. So the case also argues for a changing Philippine legal system that would eventually incorporate contemporary realities concerning relationships. That is so that intimate partner violence can be availed to all victims the same protections regardless of sexual orientation. Some of these recommendations. First, the insertion of same-sex relationship in the RA 9262 is crucial so that people under the relationship direction can avail equal protection po under this law. As per heterosexual relationship, the judiciary can take a wider and better inclusionary interpretation of the law to cover all victims. So with no regards either gender or sexual orientation, greater support service plus advocacy for LGBTQ+, victimized by intimate partner violence could offer immediate help while legal reforms are underway. So, in this study po, it's a reminder to us po that laws grow alongside societal changes and should keep doing so, thus ensuring that the legal system is protective of everybody equally. So dapat po this law, wala po tayong pinipili if ano po yung sexual orientation o kasarian po ng ibang tao, because we are the people have the right. Meron po tayong karapatan magreklamo if tayo ay naabuso na, tayo ay nasasaktan. And hopefully po sana this law maging inclusive na siya sa part ng ating LGBTQA+. So, para maiwasan na din po natin yung mga pananakit sa same-sex relationship. And para mabigyan diin na din po tong kasong to. And, yeah. And addressing that, the Philippines would then ensure availing its legal remedies and protection to all its victims of intimate partner violence. So, ayun lang po. So, I hope I explain right the case study of Sandra Jane Gago-Jacinto petitioner versus Maria Eloisa Sarmiento Fox respondent. Thank you, sir, and have a good evening.
Grown-ups.